we need to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles pass rush and kind of how this connects to the coverage situation we got going on. Let's talk for a little bit, guys. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. The sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Hey, what's good, guys? If it's the first, second, third time maybe you caught my content and you enjoyed today's discussion, if I can ask you just do me a huge solid here, guys, hit that subscribe button. I would love to add you to the community. We just crossed over 5,000 subscribers. We're heading towards 10,000. I would love for you to be a part of that equation. Just need you to subscribe to do that. To my OG subscribers, if I can just ask you guys to keep hitting that thumbs up button, keep smashing the like button, help me get this in front of new audience members to potentially convert into our little community here, guys. All right, y'all, today's topic. So I've been doing some advanced scout work on the Philadelphia Eagles, trying to get the best idea that I can for you guys. I told you over the summer I'm going to cover things like scheme and stuff like that, and we're going to talk a lot. We're going to go into depth about those things. But I got to be honest, there's a really troubling thing that's coming to the surface as I really analyze this defense. I just want to start off by saying this. Everybody, if you've watched the game for a couple of years, you know this basic fact, which is your pass rush and your coverage are kind of linked to one another, right? Sometimes you get competing philosophies that you see out there, like Bill Belichick likes to build his coverage before he does his pass rush. Then you got guys like Jim Schwartz that like to build their pass rush before their coverage. I tend to lead towards it's more important to build your pass rush than coverage, but certainly other guys have schemed things and used their coverage to manipulate to get the pass rush home as well. You know, two sides of the same coin, really. It's just a matter of the results, right? There's one really troubling thing from last season that I'm seeing. Just take a wild guess before I give you the number here in terms of opponents that faced the Eagles and the amount of times we had quarterbacks hold the ball for 2.9 seconds or longer. Once. One time, Dak Prescott, week 3, and he got dropped for 3 sacks and got pressured all game long, although we got whipped pretty good in that game, to be fair. But nonetheless, the pass rush got home. I'm starting to come to the realization as I'm really breaking down and I'm looking at these crazy additions we've made to the front seven, because I do think that Nakobe Dean, I do think that Karan Johnson, if we get Patrick Johnson, get his feet under him in his second season, right? Hassan Riddick, getting back Davion, Taylor, Josh Sweat coming back off and now being a full-time starter for looks like probably the second year in a row. Getting some pressure off of Javon Hargraves by getting Fletcher Cox, getting snaps off of him, and having guys like Milton Williams add to our pass rush. Having the young man, Jordan Davis, add to this pass rush. Certainly the front seven looks a lot different. We can see with trying to sign guys like Noah Ellis, there's an importance on the nose tackle position. We're going to get into that in the later months of the summer, guys, where I'm going to break down what I think might be going on. But it's really hard to pinpoint it until we see it in practice on the field. There's something going on between our coverage and basically the pass rush. And I don't know that just upgrading your pass rush fixes the situation. And I'll explain what I mean by that, guys. Karan Johnson's super fast. Nakobe Dean, Kaiser White, those dudes are super fast. Josh Sweat's got some speed to him, right? Davion Taylor is an absolute speed demon, although he's not really used as a pass rusher. When you go look at the numbers, he was seldom used in that way. I got to be honest, when you really look at things, it looks like we've built these speedsters, but if we don't change the concept of coverage, I ain't too sure it's going to matter. I'm just going to be honest. But here's my thing. When I looked over every quarterback that we played, Matt Ryan, 2.58 seconds. Jimmy Garoppolo, 2.58 seconds. Dak Prescott, 2.9 seconds. Patrick Mahomes, 2.49 seconds. Sam Darnold, 2.86. Tom Brady, 2.26. Derek Carr, 2.27. Jared Goff, 2.67. Justin Herbert, 2.3 seconds. Teddy Bridgewater, 2.51 seconds. Trevor Siemian, 2.64 seconds. Daniel Jones, 2.58 seconds. Zach Wilson, 2.66 seconds. Garrett Gilbert, 2.81 seconds. Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm split. Jake Fromm, 2.6 seconds. Mike Glennon, 2.88 seconds. Tyler Heineke, 2.66 seconds. Dak Prescott, 2.77 seconds. And cherry on top, Tom Brady in the playoffs, 2.2 seconds. Man, you got to move this coverage up. There's no other way of saying that. Hey, Gannon, I don't know what you're thinking. You've got to move the coverage up. You cannot sit back in these deep zones. It ain't working, Chief. Like, that's just too much to ask of your defense. It's entirely too much, Ben. I understand that you want to play off a little bit. I understand you want to keep the ball in front of you. I understand you want to win the big play rate. I get all that. But come on, man. When quarterbacks, we have 4 dudes that were just like, I don't even need 2.5 seconds. I don't need it. I'm going to just throw this ball right down here on these checkdowns all day long. And I know that I can make the right decision in the red zone and beat you. Got to move the coverage up, guys. We have got to give this pass rush a chance to shine. And I don't know how else to say this, guys. It's pretty clear when you see the numbers. There's no avoiding this. When you see the numbers, it's quite obvious what needs to occur here. We need to get these numbers, man. I mean, I'm looking at teams that I've broken down. I haven't broken down every team in the league. I'm still charting all this. But I've broken down other teams where they've got 10 games where quarterbacks held the ball for 2.9 seconds or more. You give this front seven, this defensive line, the linebacking core, that kind of time to get to the quarterback, you're going to have tremendous sack results. You're not going to be 31st in the league in sacks. It's the coverage, man. This coverage has got to play up more. Now, I don't know what that means. I've been saying it the whole time that I thought they were trying to protect Steven Nelson. I don't think they trusted his athleticism, although they trusted his instincts. I don't know if that changes with a Tay Gowan out there. I don't know if that changes with Zach McPherson. I can tell you those guys are very athletic. If you go back and you look at their underlying testing, their combine results, what they did at their pro days, those guys were very athletic, man. They have some pretty impressive testing numbers, to be quite honest. I don't know if that changes with a guy like Mario Goodrich, who's basically, like I said earlier, guys, he's a slimmer version of Steven Nelson. He's that tough-nosed, short zone guy that can come up and play. Hopefully because he's younger, that means you can play him down around the line of scrimmage. I'm going to take a wild guess, and I don't know this to be fact, guys. I'm just guessing. Same as you. I'm going to take a wild guess. This means that we're probably going to chase a veteran. I got a feeling we're going to pair somebody up here. I'm not saying that's going to be James Bradbury. You guys know I'm a huge James Bradbury guy. I've been talking about James Bradbury for 3 freaking years now. I would love him. I would love to add James Bradbury. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen per se. With that said, I'd be really happy if it did. Is it Kevin King? Is that who it was that was playing out in Green Bay? It was one of the Kings. There's 2 of them. Another guy, big, tall guy. Played with Jerry Gray last season. Jerry Gray is the guy who tutored. He's the guy who brought along Jonathan Gannon with Minnesota and with Tennessee when Gannon was there with his coaching stops. He played with Jerry Gray. He's a big-sized corner. He's a dude that's got playing experience. He's a guy that you could bring in here, and if he gets beat out, so what? Not a big deal, right? James Bradbury, just not a competition. He's clearly your CB number 2. You bring in a guy like King or whatever, or a veteran dude, and they get beat out, and you got them there for a reasonable amount of money, it's not a huge deal. They can either be a CB number 3, number 4, or you cut them and you go with the youth. Something's got to happen, guys. We've got to play more shallow zone. We cannot keep playing this deep zone stuff. We are backing off far too much, affording receivers entirely too much cushion, and quarterbacks are just taking advantage of us. This has got to get better, man. Gannon's got to fix this. This is all on Jonathan Gannon to fix this, in my opinion. He's the dude that I think holds the key to turning this thing around, in my opinion. He's got to adjust this coverage. And I'm not saying he won't do it, guys. I got faith that he's got experience as a play caller. He's got plenty of film to see where his scheme failed. And he's got, hopefully, enough football intelligence to correct it. But it's got to happen, man. Or I got a feeling that, I'm not saying things won't be a little better, but I don't think they're going to be good enough if we do not correct the depth and the cushion we're affording receivers. It's too much. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. I'll see you guys on the next video.